Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yee to the haw. Failinks, one of my favorite releases inside of Pokemon Unite. Dang it, I did it right away. Inside of Pokemon Unite. And this Pokemon has a ton of massive counters. I'm going to show you some soft counters. I'm going to show you some super hard counters in this video. I'm going to also talk about some things that Failinks counters. Again, one of the coolest releases I've seen in a very, very long time. Let's counter this thing. Without question, one of the hardest Failinks counters is Extreme Speed Lucario. Every single trooper and the brass is all marked by Extreme Speed, meaning you can get resets on your moves for every single little trooper you hit. Is just a crazy amount of resets, and then once you're done, you can throw a Bone Rush, reset it all again. It's one of the nuttiest counters, and it actually makes Extreme Speed Lucario like crazy powerful against Failinks. Of course, if you also need to get your resets in and you don't have your Bone Rush up, like you've hit a bunch of these, right? And you want to get your resets in, you don't have Bone Rush, but if you do have your Unite move, boom, it resets the entire thing again. It's just one of the craziest combos, and it's so easy to take down Failinks because of this. It's like you're fighting an entire enemy team all lined up for your extreme speeds. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's just crazy what you can do. It's, oh man, one of the best counters for Failinks, no question. And now, of course, we have the best counter against Failinks in the entire game, and that is Venusaur. Giga Drain hits every single trooper. I mean, look at that. Almost full health right there from a single Giga Drain. You could run this, of course, with the, sniper build. You could play Solar Beam on it, but just look at how insane it is. You will never be out of Giga Trains. You are always at full health fighting this thing. It heals insane, like truly. The healing is unbelievable right here. I don't even know what I could be. Let me try something. I'm just curious. I don't think I could do this at a super low level, but just for fun, I'm wondering if I could like outfight it at level 7 as it's level 15. I really doubt it. I think it KOs me too fast, right? Well, I don't know. I bet I could actually. I bet I could outfight a level 15 at level 7 here. I think I really could. Oh man, I think I could. It's gonna come down to it. Once it uses its Unite move, I think it gets me. But let me see. Oh, maybe not. It's gonna have a Unite soon though. Oh my gosh, this is so disgusting. It's so the idea that anything could take down a level 15 in some way is just crazy to think about, right? But this sets up an opportunity for that. Wow, Venu. The ultimate Failinks counter. Petal Dance, Giga Drain, Venusaur. It is, I mean, truly a thing of beauty, and I love that it's back in the meta already with some of, the Eastern teams, but also I just love it being back in the meta because of this insane counter. One of the hardest counters for Failinks is Brave Bird Talonflame. If you're able to land it on them, you can set up an Aerial Ace on every single trooper, resetting it the entire time. It's, again, with some of these, it's like hitting your, move against every single member of the enemy team. It's insane how powerful something like this is, but it's just because every single one of them counts as an enemy, and every single enemy that you hit is going to give you the ability to Aerial Ace boosted, Aerial Ace boosted, Aerial Ace boosted. Where are you, buddy? There he is. Boom, boom. Oh my gosh, he used his Unite. Look at that around his head. I've never seen it like that. Oh man, that's awesome. This is just so fun. What a perfect time to love Talonflame, isn't it? I mean, wonderful. Mew is a really interesting counter to Failinks. So I'm sure if you hit with Solar Beam Plus, it lowers the cooldown of it a bit, right? The more enemies you hit, the more it lowers its cooldown. Well, there are a lot of enemies around for Failinks, so you're gonna see how much cooldown you can actually reduce right here just by hitting our little Failinks. My little guy here. Boom. Down to 2 seconds because I also hit those Altaria. Like, there's a crazy amount of cooldown reduction on Solar Beam Mew. Every time you land a hit onto Failinks, you've got another beam up in like 3 seconds. It's such an insane combo, and one of the better counters for Failinks. As if Mew needed to be any better. Well, Mew's pretty dang good into this Pokemon. A really interesting one is Tsareena with Queenly Majesty, either Stomp or Triple Axle. Your healing is actually pretty insane. Let me show you it right here. You heal off every single little guy. So just like Venusaur's healing, you're just like crazy powerful when you're fighting right next to this Pokemon. Again, it works with either Stomp or Triple Axle, but it's just such a fun counter that I wouldn't expect until I kind of saw what players were doing with Tsareena and realized like, oh, they're healing off every little trooper they hit. A very cool counter. Figured I might as well show Stomp while I'm at it. So Stomp, you're stomping on each one of these little guys' heads and each one will heal you. And in that case, I did get KO'd. But still. This is a really interesting one. It's Dragapult, and no, it's not just because... Thanks, Failinks. I'm trying to do a video here. It's Dragapult. And again, not because of Shadow Ball. Even though Shadow Ball is cool, it will hit multiples of them. It's because of Charging Charm. The way Charging Charm works, it will essentially charge almost every single time you're hitting with your boosted. Do you see how fast that's charging? It's because every single time I'm hitting a boosted, it's an AoE, and it's hitting all of these Failinks. So Charging Charm Dragapult resets constantly against this Pokemon. It's a really cool little combination here. Let me show it a little bit faster here if I'm actually like trying to hit him and do some damage against him. You can see how quick the Charging Charm hits and how like crazy good it is using Shadow Ball against it. So a weird counter that I didn't know until Evocron pointed it out to me, but a cool way to play against that Pokemon given the AoE from your autos. Blaziken's actually a pretty cool counter because of his passive ability. You see it gets set up on every single Phalanx right there, meaning that you would heal on every single little guy when it procs, which is really cool. It's something that I think a lot of people don't think about too much on Blaziken, but once that passive procs, you heal a ton. And if you can hit multiple enemies with it, you're just healing more and more and more. You see all those opportunities to get your, HP back when you're inside of a big battle. So not the hardest counter to this Pokemon, but a cool little way to fight against it. One really cool counter is Metagross. Really, any way you play Metagross, you'll be able to counter Phalanx a bit. Where'd you go, buddy? Oh, there he is. Ran away from me. Because Gyro Ball will proc on every single trooper here, giving you a max shield, basically anytime you're fighting this Pokemon, which is really amazing. Same thing goes for Meteor Mash, by the way. Let me show you here. Leave me alone for 1 second, you jerk. Meteor Mash will get your full procs as well. So you can do insane damage with Meteor Mash because you're hitting enough targets to give you big time shield, big time damage. A very fun counter. And there are a few Pokemon that kind of fall into this realm of like things just work easier. For instance, like Icicle Spear Glaceon, you're always going to hit Phalanx basically. And even if you hit one of the little minions, the splash damage will hit the brass. You'll do full damage on it basically no matter what. I'm now going to show you a Pokemon that Phalanx counters. And look, there are a lot that Phalanx counters, so I'm not going to show you every single one of them, but I have to show you Mean Look Umbreon because it makes me so happy. You can Mean Look the wrong target, and the wrong target will get stuck there, and the rest of it will be able to continue chasing you and fight. So you can Mean Look one of the troopers, and they'll just continue to follow you and continue to fight. It's one of my favorite things about Phalanx. Like, yes, please make Mean Look Umbreon a little bit worse. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, buddy. Big Unite move. Man, this Unite move looks so cool, by the way. Oh, I didn't even realize it walks with you. I thought it like imprinted on the ground. Very cool. Great counter also. There are some other Pokemon that Phalanx counters, and I would love to hear from you in the comments. What counters Phalanx? What does Phalanx counter that maybe I didn't talk about here in this video? I'm gonna list some off that were given to me by Evocron. Shout out once again to Evo. Azu, of course, for the critical hits, right? Cinderace, Duraludon, Hyper Beam Dragonite, Zard, Umbreon Mean Look, which we just showed. Icy Wind Glaceon, because you could accidentally target one of the troopers, right? Inteleon, it has that anti-crit, and you could have huge damage reduction if the snipe shot hits one of the troopers. Crit Machamp, there are lots of ones like that. Sableye is kind of a soft counter, right? Because its vision range is kind of increased, so you kind of ping multiple spots where you might find Sableye a little easier. Night Slash Meowscarada, while cool, you know, crit damage is taken away, basically. It's 50% reduction, so even Absol isn't great against it just because you're able to easily reduce the amount of damage you're taking. And then, of course, there are some soft counters that Failinks can, you know, kind of like deal with, but has some trouble. Buzzwole, it's easier to pick this Pokemon up. Garchomp, easier to scoop with its Dragon combo. Blaziken with the procs we showed. Icicle Spear Glaceon, again, we talked about that a little bit earlier too. It's just the fact that every single spear is basically going to hit their mark no matter which trooper you landed on because of the splash damage. So again, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What are some great counters, or what is Failinks counter that I missed? Please let me know. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love you, and I'll see you all next time. All right. Go home. Go home. He went home. We did it.